Hi there, my name is Malcolm Wilkinson, and welcome to Millennial Meals, a place where we show you how to make some delicious meals and treats right in your own home. So in today's episode, we're going to be making some gumbo with some crawfish stock. Let's get cooking.
For ingredients, you're going to want to have about 2 pounds of chicken. You're going to have 24 ounces of crawfish stock, 1 onion, 1 celery or 6 stalks, 1 green bell pepper, 4 cloves of garlic, a gumbo mix, smoked sausage, the whole package, 2 quarts of water, some Creole seasoning. This is going to be more for adding a little bit of flavor if it's not up to your liking, and some rice. So I used about 2 cups of rice. Now, if you don't have crawfish stock, you can also sub it with maybe some chicken stock, but in this instance, I'm going to be using some crawfish stock that I made in a previous video. For equipment, you're going to want a cutting board and knife, a pan with a cover, a stove, a spatula, a ladle, a deep stainless steel pot, a whisk, and a rice cooker.
So for the sausage, you might want to use something like maybe like andouille sausage, but in this case, smoked sausage would do just fine. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this, cut it up, and then throw it in a pan, and then brown it on both sides, and then set it to the side.
After when you throw the sausages into the pan, you're going to want to cook them until they're brown on both sides. But while they're cooking, you can go ahead and cut up your onion, celery, garlic, and green bell pepper. Once the sausages turn brown on both sides, you're going to want to take them off the pan and set them to the side. Next, you're going to want to throw your chicken into the pan and cook it until it's not raw. There's no need to season it, as it'll get its flavor from the gumbo pack and other ingredients.
Alright, so now that my chicken is done, now I'm going to throw in the holy trinity of my vegetables, which is going to be my celery, my green bell pepper, and my onion. I'm going to wait till it gets translucent. Once it gets translucent, I'm going to add in my garlic. Alright, so now that my vegetables look like they're pretty much done, the garlic looks like it got cooked in pretty well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, basically, get my pot going. And you'll see the next fun stage in the process. So using this pot right here, about a 4-quart pot, I'm going to add about 2 quarts of water into it. With that, then I'm going to add my gumbo mix. So once you have your gumbo mix inside your pot, make sure you just get any clumps out of there. And you can use a whisk to do that. So what basically is going to happen here is we're going to wait until it comes to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, then what we're going to do is we're going to add all of our ingredients. That's going to be our chicken, our veggies, our sausage, and even the crawfish stock. So I'm going to wait for this to get to a boil, and once it's done, coming to a boil, I'm going to add in all my other ingredients. Alright, so once your pot comes to a boil with that mix that we have in there, now it's time to add all the other ingredients. So that's the veggies, the sausage, the chicken, and the crawfish stock. So after when you add the ingredients, when it comes to a second boil, what you want to do is you want to set the temperature down to let it simmer for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, let's be ready to eat with some rice. Alright, so looks like my gumbo is finally finished. So basically all I did was I just put 2 quarts of water in here, threw some gumbo mix, cooked it until a boil, and then after when I got to a boil, I threw in all my other ingredients, let it get to a second boil, and then I just let it simmer for 15 minutes after that. And right now, I got some amazing gumbo in the pot. So I just poured myself a nice big bowl of gumbo. Some of you might notice that I might have put too much rice, but for me, I love rice. It's one of my favorite side dishes of all time, and this is the best way I love having it. So another thing I should say is if the flavor is not quite to how you like it, you can always add a little bit more Creole seasoning. There's a couple brands you might want to use. I'll put some over here, but we use our own home blend here, and this is how we love it. And for me, I love having my rice just like this. Also, I should mention again is though when you're cooking, make sure you stir it periodically. Mainly trying to scrape at the bottom, because what we don't want is we don't want to have a whole bunch of the ingredients kind of burning at the bottom of our pot. But basically, this was an easy way of making gumbo. All we really did was we cut up all of our ingredients, got it all cooked up, we got our pot out, we threw a mix in with 2 quarts of water, got it to a boil. After we got to a boil, we threw all of our ingredients in, got to a second boil, and once it hit that second boil, we basically just let it simmer for 15 minutes. And for 15 minutes, this is what we got. Also, you might want to get your rice ready while it's getting in the simmering stage. With that said, this is how you make quick and easy gumbo. Y'all stay safe, have a good one.